And we got a packed show for you tonight. We're going to speak to Henny LaRue. He was a Springbok centre during the 1995 Rugby World Cup, the team that nullified the Lomu effect. And we're also going to speak to Brighton Mhlongo from Orlando Pirates ahead of their massive final this coming weekend. But we start with rugby, and the Eastern Province Rugby Union has welcomed the taking over of its Super Rugby franchise, the Southern Kings, by the SA Rugby Union. SARU's administrative takeover was sparked by ongoing cash flow problems that has resulted in a number of players leaving the province. SARU wants to stabilise the union before Super Rugby kicks off in February next year.
The move is thought to have been triggered by Kings President Chick Watson's failure to secure a massive 200 million rand sponsorship in Australia. SARU will now provide much-needed financial backing to the cash-strapped union ahead of next year's Super Rugby edition. It will also assist in recruiting key players and administrators. Watson says his union has never had headline or naming sponsorship for years.
I've never known of any major sponsorship to come into EP Rugby besides British Airways way back then with the blue stand. So there's been a reluctance all along. Why? Whether it's a mindset, whether it's the people of the city that see a glass half empty instead of half full, who knows? But I'm 60 years of age, and I played rugby in the city from the age of 19, 20, provincial, and there's never been a major sponsor for rugby, never has been.
Watson has also raised concern with an exodus of black players who have come through the ranks. Non-payment of salaries has made them to cancel their contract to join other teams.
It's painful to lose that, but I'd also like to say it's painful to lose any player that comes from this region, that's been nurtured from this region. I think we think of Sergio Peterson, who we lost, and it's never an enjoyable task to lose somebody. And I think you just think of the whole South African rugby as a whole. When you lose players to overseas and you can't bring them back in the system, it happens. And I think it's important that we stand up, rise and rectify the issue.
The clubs who make up the EP Rugby have mixed feelings about the latest developments.
We don't know what their plan would be when they take power. Obviously, our interest as clubs is that our local players get a chance to play for their province as they move from local clubs to go play for other provinces. So we would expect that the EP looks internally before they start importing all the old retired players.
We want a transformed administrative arm of the franchise as going to be put by SA Rugby. In that effect, we've also sent them an email through the president of SA Rugby Union, engaging them as Transformation Coalition. We would like to have a meeting with them to see what is it that they intend to implement on our behalf as the Eastern Cape Rugby people.
The Southern Kings are scheduled to host the Sharks at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium on the 22nd of February. Zolani Moya, SABC News, Port Elizabeth.